Well, howdy, 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 my latest project. So, I got a donor Grizzly that was beat up. It was a '06 Yamaha 660 Grizzly. This is an '06 Rhino side by side. It's for a friend of mine. So anyway, the Grizzly was just beat all to heck. But in the end, the compression was about 180. And what I figured out is that they probably never lashed the valves. And it was running in safe mode its entire life. So the thing starts right up and purrs like a kitten. But anyway, so the motor that was in this Rhino, oh, yeah, as you can see here, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Took out everything. Took out the crank. So I got on YouTube and, of course, and some of the forums, and I just read. Before I really broke down that motor, reading about the wet clutch and, so forth and so on. As far as small engines, growing up on snowmobiles, et cetera, Mikuni carbs, I can rebuild them all day long. Keen carbs, no problem. So anyway, once I figured out that we were not going to be rebuilding that the Rhino 660, then the Grizzly was going in. So there's a couple things that you have to do because the motor is now turned the opposite way. And of course, you got to change out the yokes. So if you've got the other motor, you can pop the yokes and flip them around. So you got now front is back and back is forward and over, under, sideways, down, backwards, forward, square is round. And so then you've also got, like that was for your extra pull start on your Grizzly, and that's the Rhino piece, some extra little things you had to swap over. The Rhino has a fuel pump, runs off a pulse line, so you want to keep that, and the carb as well. So the linkage, I think I got it figured out, but the Grizzly has an internal park. Rhino has an external park. So I think I've got it bypassed to where it will work. I haven't tested it because it's still in the garage, but I adjusted the starter circuit. This thing fires right up, purrs like a kitten. It runs beautiful. I painted it. And you prep this plastic with a plastic pepper, whatever. So you spray that first, and then you can basically put anything on it and you're good to go. And what I used was a PPG product called Breakthrough. It's interior and exterior. So this is the stuff right here. And I tell you what, this stuff is golden, man. I just ran a satin. You run a gloss on like cabinetry and stuff. That was what it was originally designed for. You can put it on countertops. It sprays beautiful. You can even, if you take a flock roller, you get them at Lowe's. Home Depot don't carry the flock, but they're gray, and they're like a really, really tight felt. But it leaves very little stipple, and you can roll it. And the key to that product is 3 hours on that first coat. You want that first coat to set up 3 hours. They're very adamant about it, and there's a good reason. But anyway, how long it lasts, I don't know. But look at it; it sprays nice. And I just used a Harbor Freight HVLP. Nothing fancy. So anyway, but this is it. So I'm gonna finish up some final details on it and send it out the door. So it was a pretty wild project. It only took about a week and a half or so. Most of that time was spent tearing down the other motor, and plus I had some sinus infection. I was coughing like crazy. But anyway. That is it. There's nothing else really. Everything went back together. Fairly simple. These things are really easy to work on. You're talking, 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, and an occasional 17. And of course, when you pull the motor you have to undo the front differential and push it forward to pop that drive shaft out. Then you can pull it out, and this will then drop out and everything. And then to reinstall, says Chitlins, reverse procedure. So when you drop that thing down in there, you get that drive shaft and you slip that yoke in there, and then this one, and then you got to get in there with some, big crawdads and push it up and push it forward and get her set in, and, pull on it and yank on it and get those bolts in. And it's just very, very simple, really, to work on. Everything is really there. And once again, you're talking 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, occasional 8 millimeter, and 17 millimeter. Very rarely do you run into 13s or 14s, except on a couple heavy-duty bolts here and there. But other than that, it's just gravy. And some Allen heads. It's all metric. But okay, guys, enjoy.